Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jesse, and in today's video I am going to be showing you guys how you guys can budget bi-weekly checks if you do get paid every other week. So if you're interested, make sure to watch the entire video because I am going to be giving you guys real numbers step by step throughout the entire video. So with that being said, let's get into it. Okay guys, so welcome back to the channel. As I mentioned before, I am going to be going over budgeting bi-weekly checks if you do get paid every 2 weeks. Now I'm going to try my best to try to explain this. One thing I do want to mention, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. What I'm going to be showing you here today is something that I would use if I was single. You guys have been watching all of our videos. The budgeting system that we do use a cash envelope system, and the way we budget is, of course, we do combine, myself and my wife, we do combine both of our incomes. But what I'm going to be showing you guys right now is real numbers, and I'm only going to be doing numbers based on what I make every 2 weeks. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get started. Now there are four basically things that we need to look at, in my opinion, when you guys are creating your own budget. Hopefully you guys are able to see the screen. Now the first thing is that we need to look at is your fixed expenses, and I'm going to be giving you guys some examples of fixed expenses in a bit, but I think fixed expenses has to be one of the things you guys have definitely have to list. Okay, the second thing you guys are gonna have to list are your variable expenses. Okay, now don't worry, I'll give you guys examples for each of these. Now the third thing that's very important are sinking funds. If you guys don't know what a sinking fund is, I actually created a video specifically on sinking funds, and I'll put it right here in the right hand corner so you guys can go check it out. So basically a sinking fund is essentially a little savings account that you're putting money to the side because you know that an expense is going to be coming later on in the future. Okay, that's basically what it is. So the other one is the savings. Okay, so I feel that these are the four categories that you guys should definitely be looking at when you guys are creating your budget. Okay, and in this case, if you guys do get paid bi-weekly, this is what you have to do. Okay, now let me write down here check number one. And again, I am going to be using real numbers. These numbers that I'm going to be using are based on what I make. Okay, so check number two. So hopefully you guys can see that. So check one is $2,000. Check two is $2,000. Okay, so hopefully we're still on the same page. Now the first thing that we're going to be writing out is the fixed expenses. So let me go ahead and write that down right here. Let me see, I'll write it down right here. I just want to make sure everything fits on the same page. So fixed expenses. And again, I'm going to be giving you guys details, or again, I'm going to be giving you guys all the examples for fixed expenses that I would use if it was just myself. Okay, so for fixed expenses, of course, the top of the list should be rent. Second one is utilities. Third is cell phone. Okay, the next one is internet. We all need internet these days now. The next one is the student loans. Again, the student loans is just myself, just for me. Okay, my wife doesn't have anything, but again, this example is just based on myself. Student loans. The next one is car insurance. Okay, and the next one is gym. Okay, once you list these out, I think what's very important, and I'll write it here on the left hand side, is to basically list when each of these expenses are due each month. Okay, again, these are going to be the expenses that we're going to be paying on a monthly basis. Okay, so for rent, let's just say rent is on the 1st. This I'm just going to be making up. Okay, so let's say rent is due on the 1st. Let's say utilities is due on the, I don't know, the 5th of the month. Cell phone is due the 10th of the month. Internet, student loans, let's say these are due on the 15th of the month. Let me see. Student loan, let's say the 20th. Okay, car insurance, let's say it's due the 25th of the month, and also let's say the gym is due the 25th of the month. Okay, of course, again, these are just numbers that I've made up. I apologize for the writing. I have pretty ugly writing, but anyways, these are the due dates of each of the expenses. Okay, in your case, your expense, it just varies. Okay, but just keep in mind, sometimes I think it's very, very important to write down when all of your expenses are due. That way you guys can know when you're going to be paying them. That way you guys don't forget. Okay, now what I'm going to write here on the next here is just basically the total for that expense. Okay, so for rent, since I am using real numbers, okay, let me just put the dollar signs all the way to the bottom. Okay, for rent here where we live, we do pay $1,600. Okay, utilities, typically it is around $60, but since this example is only on me, everything else is going to be cut in half. Okay, so for utilities, it's only going to be $30. For a cell phone, it's only going to be around $60. Internet, $35. Student loans, I'm only going to put for $250. Car insurance is only going to be $70. Gym, it's going to be $20. Okay, now here on this column right here, I'm just going to write check number 1, and here check number 2. Now if you guys do follow this kind of setup, I mean, once you guys write it out, you guys are gonna have you guys are obviously gonna make it much cleaner. To be honest, I would actually try to do this on an Excel sheet. That way it's just much cleaner and it looks a little bit better. Okay, but that's just me. That's something that I would do. Okay, you guys can write it out, but what I want to mention is the importance or the power of writing things out. It makes it, not only makes you accountable, but it makes you stick with it. So if you guys have any other budget system that you guys use, make sure to write everything down. That's going to make your life much easier. Okay, now, so that's for fixed expenses. Okay, the next item we're going to go on to, so you know what, let me see here. So for fixed expenses, check. Now let's go on to variable. Okay, and we'll fill out the rest of the these columns in a bit. Okay, the next one, let's go on variable. So variable expenses. Okay, variable expenses is basically expenses that don't really, they can fluctuate in a sense every month. Okay, so the first variable expense that I have here is groceries. Okay, the next variable expense that I have here, sorry, my handwriting is really bad, I really apologize, hope you guys can read that. The next variable expense is going to be restaurants. Okay, the next one is going to be car gas. The last one is going to be just fun money. Okay, fun money meaning the money I would be using just for fun on a monthly basis. Okay, so let me just put the dollar signs all the way down. So for groceries, since it's only, this example is only for myself, I would say that I would probably only spend around $150 a month on groceries. Restaurants, maybe just $100. Car gas, I would estimate it at around $150. Fun money, I would give myself maybe around $500. Okay, just for fun. Okay, now again, we'll fill out the check 1, check 2 in a bit. Okay, the next item that and before that, let me just check this off. So we've already written down the fixed expense and the variable. Now we're gonna go on to the sinking. Okay, as I mentioned, the sinking funds is very important. Okay, sinking funds is something that you guys should always try to have in your budget, no matter what budget you do. Sinking funds are very, very important. Okay, it can definitely save you later on, because what you're basically doing is, for example, if you know that you have an expense coming up, let's say you need to change, I don't know, you need to change your tires from your cars, right? For an example, instead of waiting and having your tires to basically blow out on you and just having to go maybe in your savings account and pull that out and to pay, setting up a sinking fund, you're going to be able to avoid that you're not going to really feel it coming out of your pocket, okay? Because in the sinking funds, you're already going to be saving every month, or you're going to be saving a little bit from every check for that specific cost or that specific expense, okay? So for this example, I'm going to be using car maintenance, okay? Car maintenance can be oil change, car maintenance can be tires, rotations, all that car maintenance, okay? The next sinking funds I'm going to write down is going to be vacation. And the last one I'm just going to write down is going to be for gifts, okay? So let me just write down the dollar bills here. Now let's just say on a monthly, let's say on a monthly basis for car maintenance, I'm only putting 50 bucks aside. For vacation, I'm putting 100, because let's just say I want to go take a trip once a year, okay? For gifts, let's just say I'm going to be putting 50 bucks every month, okay? Now let's go ahead and start working the bi-weekly. Let's just start breaking it down by check, okay? Since we do get paid bi-weekly. Now, okay, so now let's start breaking down the checks, okay? Since we do get paid twice a month, or bi-weekly, I should say. Now for rent, let's just say on the first check, I'm gonna be taking out 800. On the second check, since for utilities it's only 30, I'm gonna be taking out only, let's say, 15. The third expense here for the fixed expense category is the cell phone. Since it is 60, I'm only gonna be taking out 30. For internet, since it is 35, and I don't want to break it down, like I think the exact half is like 1750. Let's just say for the paycheck one, I'm only gonna take out 20. Student loans, half of that will be 125. Car insurance, since it's a 70, I'll only take out like 35 bucks. For gym, I'll take out, let's just say 10, okay? Which means if we look at check number 2, looking out at all these expenses, for rent, I'm still gonna owe 800, so I'm gonna take out 800 for check 2. For utilities, I'm gonna take out 15 bucks. For cell phone, will be another 30. For internet, will be 15. For student loans, will be another 125. For car insurance, will be $35. And for gym, will be another $10. Okay, that is a 0. Okay, so this is kind of how it looks. Hopefully it is making sense right now, but that is for fixed expenses. Okay, so remember, fixed expenses are basically expenses that you have on a monthly basis that basically stay the same. There's really no fluctuation to it. All right, now for groceries, since we do budget 150, it will be 75 bucks. For restaurants, since we do budget 100 for the month, it's only gonna be 50. Car gas will be 75. Fund money will be 250. Okay. And let me see. Sinking funds will be 25. Vacation will only be 50. And the gifts would only be 50. Okay. So we did very expensive right now, and we also did the sinking funds. Okay, again, that's just looking at check number 1. Now for variable expenses, let's go on check number 2. Okay, so for check number 2, we're gonna take out another 75 to complete that total expense for groceries. For restaurants, we're gonna take out another 50. For car gas will be another 75. And for phone money will be 250. Okay, so that will complete the variable expense. Okay, so the next one, the last one for the sinking funds, will be $25 for maintenance. We will be putting $50 away for vacation. For gifts, we are going to be putting away, well, actually 0, because we already took it out from the gifts. Okay, so Now the last one that we need to do, since we did the sinking funds, will be the savings. Okay, so I can write it down right here. So savings. Okay, so there we go. So now for savings, all we're really gonna do, anything that's left over, it's gonna go straight into the savings. Now, some of you guys might be saying, any money that's left over, just put it to the debt. And I agree. I really do agree with that as well. That's something Dave Ramsey would always say. But one thing that I feel, and this is just personal to me, guys, you guys, it can be totally different to you. This is my point of view. I feel that what you guys or myself, and this is something that I am doing is, I think the most important thing when trying to get out of debt is making sure you have at least 3 to 6 months as a rainy day fund. Okay, I can make a video later on a rainy day fund, but rainy day fund is very important because that's when you're basically securing yourself from something that can happen in your life. Okay, because I do believe that it makes no sense just to go crazy, pay the debt down as fast as you can, because life happens, right? You can get in an accident, your spouse can get in an accident, you can lose your job, and honestly that can even put you that can set you back even more. For example, let's say, you know, I'm going crazy, I'm paying off the debt, and let's say God forbid something happens to me and I don't have any in my rainy day fund, then I'm probably gonna have to go into debt to try to get by, right? So I think very important, putting aside money for sinking funds, for a rainy day fund is very important. Once you have the 3 to 6 months of saving funds or rainy day funds, then you can start going crazy on the debt. Okay, but that's just my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. This is something that I personally think, but you guys can definitely do it however you want. Okay, so now with that being said, we're gonna be seeing how much money we're gonna be saving for the month. Okay, so let me write it down right here. So let me just take out the handy dandy calculator. Alrighty, so let me just do the math. Okay, so if I did the math correctly, if I added everything from check 1, right, I should have, let me see, let me just take out the calculator, guys. Okay, I need the calculator, give me 1 second. So I'm just going to be adding everything and then just subtracting 2,000, which that will be going into the savings. Okay, here the total here is $1,610. Okay, now let's go on to the next side. Okay, should be very close to the same, but let me just count it, just use a calculator. So we have 800 here for the total for the check number 2. It will be 1,555, which means is, let me add those up together. So 1,610 plus 1,055 equals a total of 3,165. Okay, so let me just subtract 4,000. Okay, which means in the savings on a monthly basis, I am going to be putting away $835, which means for the year, approximately I might be saving around $10,000. Okay, now again, this is just based on myself. Okay, now one thing I do want to mention, if I was doing this by myself, the rent off the bat is crazy high for my income. Okay, technically my rent should be at most like around maybe $1,200-ish on a monthly basis, but since I am trying to use as real examples as I can, that is currently the rent that we do pay. Okay, and all of this is based on just my income and the expenses that we do have. Okay, so again, let me cross that off. This is the budgeting bi-weekly checks that I would recommend you guys possibly doing. Again, this is just something I think would help you guys out, because honestly the most important thing is just making sure to write all of your budgets down. That's number one. Write everything down, how many credit cards you have, how many bills you have, how much money you're actually making on a bi-weekly basis. That's very important. From there, I would suggest creating your fixed expenses, your variable expenses, your sinking funds if you do have any, which I'm pretty sure you guys should have, and savings. Okay, and then from there, again, create the fixed expenses category, variable expense, sinking funds, and then at the end the savings. Okay, so and then of course writing down how much you get per each check. But hopefully this makes sense. If you guys have made it all this way, if you guys did enjoy this video, please make sure to share it just with at least one friend, so we can see what they think as well about this basic budgeting, your bi-weekly checks. What do they think? Okay, but other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are interested in more videos, I am gonna put them here on the screen so you guys can go check them out. But if you guys did like the video, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys on the next one. I'll see you guys later. Take care, guys.